In Monster Hunter, your strength is directly tied to what you're wearing. A lot of players pick up on this, but struggle to put together builds that they feel proud of. You can absolutely blast through low and high rank with the Defender set, reach Master rank, and hit a massive wall if you don't know how to build a proper armor set. In this guide, I'll explain the details of set building, and help you get started building your own sets. Skills are the building blocks of every set, so before we start building, let's take a look at some of the skills that you need to know about. This is a Teostra Raging Brachy set, a very popular build towards the end of the game. This build has some of the most desirable skills in it, so it's a great starting point to learn about what you might want out of a build, and what you can cut when you're on a skill budget. Health Boost 3 is one of the strongest skills in the game, and it'll keep you from getting one-shot by a lot of late game monsters. When max health caps at 200, 50 health makes a massive difference. Every set I showcase will be running Health Boost 3. Critical Eye increases your affinity. Affinity represents the chance that your weapon randomly deals a critical hit. A critical hit deals 25% more damage than a normal hit. Affinity can't go higher than 100%, and having negative affinity from special weapons can randomly reduce the amount of damage you deal. You can get affinity from multiple sources, so in this build I don't need to max out Critical Eye. Weakness Exploit can increase your affinity even more than Critical Eye, but has some conditions attached to it. This skill is only active if you're attacking a weak point. That weak point also needs to be wounded to get the full value out of Weakness Exploit. You inflict wounds with the Clutch Claw, and I would highly recommend watching my Clutch Claw video if you want to understand how it works. The link is in the description. Critical Boost increases the bonus damage your critical hits deal from 25 to 40%. Critical Eye, Weakness Exploit, and Critical Boost are the core damage skills for most builds in Monster Hunter. Next up is Master's Touch. This skill is less common, but if you use a melee weapon, you will probably use Master's Touch at some point. This is one of many skills we can use to manage our sharpness. Sharpness keeps your weapon from bouncing, and multiplies your damage for each level of sharpness. Master's Touch is unique because it's only available as a set bonus. A set bonus comes from equipping multiple pieces of armor from the same monster. Master's Touch comes from equipping at least 3 pieces of Teostra armor. Once active, Master's Touch prevents your weapon from losing sharpness during critical hits. If you stack enough affinity, all your hits will be critical hits and you will never have to sharpen your weapon. Attack Boost increases your damage by a flat amount and gives you 5% affinity at level 4. Because of this, some builds only use 4 points of Attack Boost. Agitator grants an even higher boost to damage and affinity, but it's conditional. This skill is only active when a monster is enraged, but it's not hard to have almost 100% uptime on Agitator if you know how to use the Clutch Claw. Agitator normally only goes up to level 5, but this build uses the Agitator Secret Set bonus, which comes from wearing 2 pieces of Raging Brachy armor. This set bonus raises Agitator's maximum level from 5 to 7. Peak Performance gives you a flat damage boost if you're at max health. While this might sound tough to maintain, towards the end of the game you can actually augment your weapon with lifesteal. This heals you when you deal damage, giving Peak Performance really good uptime if you play well. Now, skills that couldn't fit in this build but are really worth considering. Coalescence gives you flat damage, elemental damage, and status buildup when you recover from a status effect. The buff lasts a minute and a half, making it really good against status monsters. This skill is front-loaded, so slotting in even a single point can be worth it. Speaking of single points, when active, Fortify is the strongest single point skill in the game. If you cart, it boosts your attack and defense by 10 and 15%, which is huge, and it can stack twice. If you're ever struggling with a monster, use this skill. Some weapons really want specific skills, so I've listed those on screen. Now let's try building with an actual skill budget. To showcase what you're probably working with, I'll only use gear I can get from before the final story boss of Iceborne. Behold, the Poverty set. This set uses common armor pieces and decorations, but still manages to hit 100% affinity on wounded weak points. It even has a bit of extra space left over for combination decos. Combination decos are decorations with 2 skill points that can fit into a single 4 slot. For example, everybody gets this Expert Plus combination deco at the start of Iceborne, and it comes with 2 points of Critical Eye. Keep in mind that some combinations don't exist, and you need a 4 slot to fit a combination deco. Smaller decorations can fit into larger decoration slots, but larger decorations cannot fit into a smaller slot. To manage our sharpness, we're using a razor sharp spare shot charm that halves our sharpness loss with melee weapons and reduces our ammo and coating consumption with ranged weapons. This build is enough to make it to the final story boss, but it's very bare bones. If you're good enough, the plan is to deal tons of damage until the monster falls over, deal even more damage when it's on the ground, rinse and repeat. But everybody has a plan until they get mauled by a dinosaur. I am not making a whole video just to tell you to get good, so here's the part where we fit in more survivability. You've probably already noticed that some armor pieces are more skill point efficient than others. A rough way to measure the efficiency of an armor piece is by counting the number of skills on it that you want and adding that to the number of slots on the armor piece. A 4 slot can fit in a combination deco worth 2 skills, so count it twice. These acidic laveness braces come with more skills than our Kulu braces, but have stun resistance instead of critical boost. However, if we use a decoration that gives us critical boost, we can upgrade to the acidic laveness braces. If we add a stun resistance decoration, we get stun resistance 3, which keeps us from getting stunned when we take too many successive hits. Let's push it a bit further. I really like Elden Ring, so I'm going to slot in Evade Window 5. Evade Window increases the iframes on evades like dodge rolls and foresight slash. If I don't have the decorations for it, I can actually go to the smithy and sort armor sets by skills to see what armor might come with Evade Window. Nargacuga armor comes with Evade Window built in and has a nice set bonus. 3 pieces gives us true razor sharp spare shot, a better version of what's on our current charm. Charms can give you multiple levels of rare skills, so freeing up our charm slot does a lot for this build. In this case, I'm going to go with 2 points of weakness exploit. High rank and master rank armor sets can come in alpha or beta versions. Alpha armor comes with more skills built in, while beta armor has fewer skills but more slots. I don't need speed crawler on my set, so I went with the beta version of the Nargacuga mail. Keep in mind, if you don't have the decorations to fill out the slot, it might be better to go with whatever comes with the alpha version. For the Greaves, if I don't have a combination deco for the beta's 4 slot, I'll stick with the alpha version for peak performance. I'm still avoiding rare decos, so anyone can make this set with minimum investment. If we compare our damage skills to our poverty set, we drop from 100% affinity to 85%, and from critical boost 3 to critical boost 2. We did get a better version of razor sharp spare shot, and a point of peak performance. Rare decorations can always make a build better, but until then. What comes next is really up to you. There are over 100 skills in this game, and I know there's a set out there that you will love. The channel hit 100 subscribers this week, and I just want to say thank you so much for your support. I'm working on my weapon guides format so I can put out an amazing longsword guide for you when Monster Hunter Wilds comes out next year. I'm also working on guides for other weapons, so stay tuned.